Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk Thinking Right, out here in the lab doing what I do for you in the wee hours of the morning, the way I like it. Let's go. Right in 25 minutes live by storytelling. Starting with a message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. Let's go. Right thinkers' mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual disciplines daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, to get you to do that. Your job is to obtain it, learn it, and do just that. Know thyself. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is simple. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I got you. I teach you. A person who knows not and believe that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know, let them come. Why? They're asleep spiritually. I can awaken them with spiritual knowledge and they will wake up to themselves. That's my job. A person who knows and knows that they know, wise, follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinking, know thyself. And to Maya, be true. Yes. And Maya is really a spiritual concept with principles and morals that if you implement them, they will work for you. Trust me. I wouldn't be doing that for nothing. So take that to heed and understand. This lesson pretty much is about understanding and gaining your Maya. Right thinkers, let's talk about gaining spiritual strength. In order to be strong spiritually, you have to be intellectually, okay? You have to be morally strong. That means know what to do, when to do it, and then you do it. That's how you gain spiritual strength. Let's go. In life, every day there's a test of your spiritual strength. Watch this. When you're pushed to your limit and you don't react the way you used to or the way you normally would, that's gaining spiritual strength. I just did the patience. Now we talk about the strength that comes from patience. This is how it's done. This is how it's done, excuse me. When temptations comes and you don't give in to your desires, most of us men, sexual desires, we have an issue with that little fella. And if you let him, okay, I have to have a phrase back in the day. I'm not proud of this. I have to ask women to kiss me on my ego. They didn't know. Most people didn't know. That's the ego. Okay? So yeah, I was offering people to do that, and unbeknownst to them, there was it's another story. We ain't go there, but yeah, symbolic messaging, esoteric messaging, hidden messaging. I'm so adapt to it. It comes natural. Sorry about that, but yeah, let me try to bring you up to speed on that. When things are not going your way, and you can maintain your cool, that's gaining spiritual strength. Again, knowing when to, knowing how to, all those are things that's helping your character. It builds personality. It builds character because all these parts that you play, all these roles that's actually the guys and goddesses, they're actually parts of your character. I've been trying to teach you that concept for a while, but yeah, that's what it's about. And when you can maintain your balance, that's my maintain your spiritual acquiescence and understanding how to deal with a situation, no matter what it is, good, bad, or indifferent. Keep your balance. Stay in balance. Once you get emotionally involved, you're out of balance. Once you make it personal, you're out of balance. When you handle a situation differently, aka better than before, you're gaining spiritual growth, spiritual strength, excuse me, and you're living Maya. I stay on my beam. Okay, it's called Hotep, meaning peace. It means you level across the board. That's what it means. When you live in Maya, you level. Okay, they're all synonymous with each other, but they're all different aspects that once you get them together, you know what I'm talking about. When you're part of an uncomfortable situation and you remain comfortable, you're gaining spiritual strength. What it means to grow in the spirit, there you go. It means you're going to maintain your cool. You're going to do what you're supposed to do. If you know how to handle yourself, those are things that you have to be able to implement when you need to. To say you knew better, the situation that you dealt with wrong don't make sense. Do it when you have to. Prove it. That's what it's all about. When you're learning spiritual truths and you're practicing them, this is what you're going to deal with every day until you get better at understanding people, how they come at you, and how you got to respond and do what you need to do. Remember, don't let them knock you off the beam. When you starve, when you starve the flesh, okay, you're feeding your spirit. My concept is fasting, meditating, going without things that you think you may need. Start learning how to go without. Practice doing or going without things that you think you need. Some people got to have that coffee. Some people got whatever it is. Sacrifice. That gets you closer to God. Why? Because the flesh wants what it wants. God wants you to do what's right. That's why. When you're practicing right thinking philosophy daily, you're feeding your spirit. Why? Because you're going to make sacrifices and you're going to not do things that's not conducive or not good for you that you used to probably do. Didn't even think of it. But when you get better at it, you'll understand. When you know right from wrong, yeah, we all do. But when you do what's right, now you're doing the right thing. Now you're living right. You're doing right. And guess what? You will be rewarded for just that. Nothing special. Just that. When you learn to ignore that voice of ignorance, that voice of desire, that voice of the ego, you're growing spiritually stronger. That's how you do it. If you keep saying, well, that little voice, we all got the voice. It's your choice. If the voice in your head, I remember a guy asked me, well, how you know that's God talking to you? Really? My man, if you can't recognize good from bad, that's a you problem. So we got to argue that point. Next one is, watch this, and here we go. Fasting, meditating, and praying helps give you what? Spiritual strength. It strengthens you spiritually because you're dealing from within. Anytime you can strengthen the inner you, that's a good thing. You starve the flesh to feed the spirit. I do that daily. Why? I go on 6-hour fast. What? Just to prove that I don't need that nonsense. I don't do junk food. Why? That's a choice. You know why? I just don't need it. Out yesterday, lady said, I can't have that. I can't have that. That's spiritual discipline. When you can push back on something that you may like, you may want, but no one thinking better of it because you know what it's going to do, because there's consequences for your actions. If you don't want to pay the consequences for that, don't cause that action. I used to be a drug dealer. I know that if I don't deal drugs, I got no problem going to jail. I know if I teach and practice truth, I'm a free man to do what I choose and what I want to do for myself. If I did the other thing, I may lose that privilege. Get the point? So understand that. But when you're taking care of your spiritual self, you're doing the right thing. Why? The spirit feeds off of that. That's why. Control fast. You can do whenever. Why? It's a spiritual thing. It's you controlling what you put in your body, when you put it in there, how often you put it in there. See. If you don't eat breakfast and you go to lunch, you just fast. Whether you know it or not, you just put yourself on the fast and you control that by why right now eat until lunchtime. Sorry. Yeah, relax, calm down. Yeah. All right, here you go. I feel closer to my higher self daily. Why? Because I do what I need to do daily, and it's a good feeling. I'm told I'm walking in God's grace. No, I'm just living right. But for somebody who's seeing it, that's what they see, and I understand. That's the interpretation. We really got to understand what you call something and what somebody else calls something. That's the names. They might say it different, but mean the same thing. So let's get understanding of the names. Don't stop. Well, no. First thing say no. but then you break it down. Oh yeah, you're right. We react a lot too fast a lot of times when people make them sometimes a compliment or gesture and they just take it the wrong way. So you gotta be careful. Understand the names. I might be saying something that's positive. You may think it's negative because you're thinking I mean something else. That's a misunderstanding. In your relationship, you got a bunch of them every day. They come out of nowhere. All right, you call them pop-ups. All right, yeah, pop-up arguments. Excuse me. All right, here you go. I always pray for others, never myself, and never for things for me. I can do for me. I pray for others. I'm even getting good at praying for my enemies. It pains me to say that, but spiritual discipline is a must. In order to gain spiritual growth, you have to have discipline spiritually. That means you have to take care of the inner you, so the outer you. That means I go to the gym for the physical part, but I study, pray, meditate, and do my thing internally, rituals. Okay? I call spiritual discipline living right when daily, answering the call of the higher self, doing the things and acquiescing to what life has you to do. The right thing is your choice. The wrong thing, also your choice. Make good choices, benefit, bad choice, pay. Simple. You have to have spiritual discipline in order to grow spiritually. Trust me. Spiritual discipline is what? Holding yourself to a higher standard. That's the part that I say spiritual. Why? Because we know right from wrong. Sometimes we just say, what the hell? When I decided to do what I was doing, I could care less about spiritual discipline. Ego discipline. I was all ego. 100% ego. Me. I got to get it. I got to do it. All that nonsense. But I'm here to tell you, for young people, if you think being a drug dealer, you think, no. Be a good individual. That supersedes all that other nonsense. But some of us had to find out the hard way. My children listened to me. They didn't have to go through that nonsense because that's what it is. And if you think it's not, once you get in, you realize it was nonsense, but it's too late. Once you get in the clutches of the system, it's a whirlpool that you're going to be going around and around until you get out. So don't get in. Okay, it's easy to get in, just jump right in, yeah, but whoa, getting out ain't so easy. So trust the people who trying to advise you. Listen to the right thinking, man. I'm just trying to help you. Trust me. Here you go. Where we at? Okay, I use my spiritual disciplines, what? To keep me spiritually strong. That's how I do the right thing on a regular basis. If you're not in tune to yourself, you're going to make decisions that sometimes the ego is ego driven. All my decisions are God based. Why? I'm God conscious. I make it a point to keep God in my mix for a reason. That's spiritual, not religious. Here you go. Last one. I'm about to wrap it up again. I appreciate you tuning in. I hope the lesson's getting home. I'm trying to give it to you. Let's do it. Spiritually, I'm King Kong up in this piece, aka the right thinking man. If you think spirituality is a competition, it's not. Spirituality is being connected with your higher self and living it, doing it, and being it for that purpose, not for your competition. I ain't trying to outspirit nobody or out-worship God. Man, I ain't got time for that nonsense. Chill, man. I get so excited because some stuff just didn't get me like that. All right, let me wrap this up. God is a spirit, and having knowledge of Him, aka self, makes you what? King Kong spiritually. You the baddest man in the land. Remember, as I walk through the valley of evil, I shall fear nobody. Why? I'm the baddest man up in here. You know who I'm rolling with. That's the spiritual concept of being King Kong. All right. My spiritual knowledge is superior knowledge over academic knowledge. And I can prove that any day, anytime when you want. So please don't think you're going to out-knowledge me with your academia. No, don't mean nothing. Do you know Him? Let's go. And if you did, we would interact in a peaceful and respectful manner, not a debate contest. Who know more about God? Who know God? That's nonsense. I have spiritual knowledge of most all religious practices. Trust me, I went to a Catholic funeral. We ain't going there. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It was a different event. How about that? My pastor told me if you don't speak good, got nothing good to say nothing. I'm gonna say it was a different experience. I'll give him that. So moving on. Wow, that's another lesson. I'm going there. You trust me? I'm going there. Okay, where we at? No. Okay, self knowledge again. Realize really is the best knowledge. Knowing thyself is the highest equivalent of man's goal to knowing anything, himself and God first. My spiritual knowledge makes me the right thinking man. I serve, work, and lead people to their higher self. We call them God. Stay tuned. I got more for you. Oh, I ain't done.